Hello fellow gamers, this is Tim, SamY7, and I'm curious to see what you guys think about solo role-playing. And what I mean by solo role-playing is basically just one person having some sort of mechanic in the RPG itself, or via some sort of helper like the Mythic GM Emulator to pretty much take the place of, live people. I'm not so sure I would enjoy that. I don't know. Maybe I would. I've never tried it. The closest I've got to solo role playing would be the choose your own adventure, kind of like the TSR novels, like back in the day. And there were some other ones that came out as well. Where you choose, oh, I go down this way, and I make a left instead of a right. Turn to page 92. But I think there's products out there that do this. I know the GM emulator can be used to try to play GM-less games, basically just take the place of the games master. But I don't know. Do people out there actually? Do people sit down and play solo RPGs? I don't know if I'm really not sure if I'd enjoy that or not. It might be fun, maybe for a little while, just to try as something different. I know a lot of people out there have been saying that they don't have time for gaming, they can't make room on their schedule, or they're in the middle of middle of nowhere and they can't find anybody to game, or they're around people but they just can't seem to find gamers. So it made me start to think, while it might not be as enjoyable as sitting down with a bunch of friends and getting pizza damage on your character sheets and drinking Mountain Dew and all these things, it might kind of scratch some of that itch. Now I know a lot of people are into video games, PlayStation, Xbox. I'm kind of behind the times on those games and game systems. I think the last game system I bought was a PlayStation 2, and honestly, it just kind of sits there and collects dust. I play some DVDs on it, but that's about it. I don't know. When I sit down and I have some free time. Okay, my cat's getting annoying now. When I sit down and have some free time, I'm not a big video gamer. I used to play like Grand Theft Auto and those kind of games, and I've kind of gotten away from it because when I sit there and I'm playing them, I start to think, I'd rather be working on a role-playing setting, or I'd rather be, tinkering on some rules, or I got a nice shiny RPG that I haven't read all the way through. And I don't mean this to be a condemnation of those who like video games. If you like video games, that's cool. I got no problem with that. It's just for me personally, I feel like I guess I'm wasting my time. I don't know. I mean. Then you could say I'm wasting my time on role-playing games and RPGs and stuff, which would be a valid point. It just, for me, I enjoy that more than playing video games. I enjoy, especially playing and running, where if you would compare it to video game, the GM pretty much takes over for all the programming, and you can do all kinds of things that you couldn't do in an RPG, because who's gonna expect some of the things that I do, especially when I play. Like I said, I have chaotic playing tendencies, and I like to do things in a game that I can't do in my normal 9 to 5 boring work day. Pay my bills, pay my taxes, all that good stuff. So what am I saying here? I'm kind of rambling. Solo role-playing, and when I'm saying this, I'm kind of picturing, a bunch of charts, you're rolling different dice for different things to kind of, have some sort of random way of coming about a story. The one thing I definitely think would be lacking in solo role-playing is that interaction between players, that camaraderie of a group, and the social interaction. I really enjoy that with role-playing. I think it's, it gives people an excuse to sit down and, hopefully, no matter what their backgrounds are, or, who they are as a person that can sit down and have fun, And me just sitting down by myself, and I don't know if I'd have to try it. I mean, I don't want to say that I'm not going to do it or not going to like it before I even try it, but it's, I don't know, maybe I'm prejudiced against solo role playing. I don't know. So what are your thoughts on solo role playing? Is it a waste of time? Is it, is it creepy? Is it, I mean, I don't know. Wouldn't like a normal role playing group look down on solo role playing? Have any of you ever tried it? Have you ever, maybe you have that Mythic GM Emulator that I don't have, but I've heard, good things about it. Have you tried that? Did it work? Did it kind of give you, kind of springboard you in the right direction, but, didn't quite get there? And, does solo role playing, scratch that itch for, does it give you your fix for role playing if you can't sit down and play with other people? And for those that, again, who don't have groups or can't play, I really suggest just playing a play-by-post game or a play-by-email game. Some people have suggested, using Skype or, instant messengers even to play games. You could set up a time, Friday, at 6 p.m., we're going to play, Star Wars or, whatever you're into. So in a way, it would just be a different format, but, it could connect people from, across the country, across the world, if, people sleep in strange ways, It's like, oh, well, I'm a night owl, well, I'm a morning person. Well, that works out because, we're like 6 time zones apart, or, whatever the case may be. So I was just thinking about solo role-playing today, and what would it be like? I talked a little bit in my last video how I didn't have any players show up, and I started stalking the dungeon, and it was kind of fun because Labyrinth Lord has random charts, random dice rolls to see what's in a room, and then you can springboard off of that, and you can actually make up your own charts if you want. So in a way, that was making me think that, I don't know, maybe it would be kind of interesting to try to do that. I don't know. Again, I'm just rambling on. So what do you think of solo role playing? Is it I don't know. What are your thoughts on it? And I probably should make videos when I haven't slept for 24 hours. All right, guys and gals, if I have any female viewers out there, have a good day, and I'll talk to you guys later.